In the crisp chill of a late autumn evening in Baltimore, Ethan Carter, a 21-year-old from Dundalk, pedaled his battered bicycle through the city's bustling streets. Fresh out of a community college with a degree in information technology, Ethan was still hunting for a stable job, his dreams of coding cutting-edge software clashing with the reality of scraping by. To make ends meet, he'd taken a gig delivering meals for a small diner on the city's outskirts. His days were a blur of picking up steaming takeout boxes, jotting down addresses, and weaving through traffic to deliver food to impatient customers. Barely a month into the job, Ethan had mastered the maze of Baltimore's backroads, but nothing could have prepared him for the delivery that would haunt him for the rest of his life. That evening, as the diner's neon sign buzzed above the counter, Mrs. Clara, the no-nonsense owner, handed Ethan a foil container of fried chicken and mashed potatoes, along with a crumpled note scrawled with an address. Ethan frowned, scanning the paper. The location was unfamiliar, tucked away in a part of town he'd never ventured into. "You sure this is right, Mrs. Clara?" he asked, his voice tinged with doubt. She waved him off with a thin smile. "Customer called it in. Just deliver it. What's the worry?" Shrugging, Ethan stuffed the note into his pocket, slung the delivery bag over his shoulder, and pedaled into the fading light. The route led him through winding alleys, where streetlights flickered weakly, and the hum of crickets filled the air. Shadows stretched long and thin, twisting through the narrow streets like living things. Ethan stopped repeatedly to ask directions, his throat dry from repeating himself. As the last rays of sunset bled across the sky, he pulled up to a rusted iron gate. Beyond it wasn't a house or an apartment complex, but a small, overgrown cemetery nestled among gnarled trees. Tombstones jutted from the earth like crooked teeth, bathed in the eerie glow of twilight. Ethan froze, the takeout box suddenly heavy in his hands. He double-checked the note, his heart pounding. "No mistake," he muttered, but a creeping dread tightened his chest. Then, from behind a towering oak, a figure emerged, a young woman, about 19, slight and pale, dressed in a simple black hoodie and jeans. Her long hair swayed like a dark curtain, and her eyes, sharp and luminous, seemed to pierce the dusk. Ethan's breath hitched. Her face was hauntingly familiar, like a memory just out of reach, perhaps from his college days when he'd been the star of the soccer team, strumming his guitar at campus parties. "You're here with the food?" she asked, her voice soft but edged with an icy calm. "Yeah," Ethan replied, his hand trembling as he handed her the box. She passed him a crisp bill, her fingers brushing his briefly, cold as marble. Without another word, she turned and glided toward the cemetery, vanishing among the tombstones. Ethan stood rooted, watching her fade into the shadows. Probably the groundskeeper's daughter, he told himself, trying to quell the unease gnawing at him. But the chill in his spine lingered, a whisper of something unnatural. Back at the diner, the image of the girl in black clung to him, her face flickering in his mind like a half-forgotten dream. In college, Ethan had been a campus legend, athletic, charismatic, a guitar player who drew crowds. He'd once boasted, "Only a girl who truly impresses me deserves my heart," a line that made him both admired and unattainable. Had she been one of the many who'd watched him from afar? He shook his head, dismissing the thought. For more deliveries awaited, and he had no time for ghosts. But the mystery deepened. For 9 consecutive days, orders came from the same cemetery address. Each time, the same girl appeared, took the food, paid, and vanished into the graves. Ethan tried to engage her, asking her name, why she was there, but she only smiled, her gaze cutting through him, before slipping away. Her silence fueled his curiosity, and by the 9th day, it outweighed his fear. He resolved to uncover the truth. After his last delivery, Ethan returned to the cemetery as dusk painted the sky in hues of amber and crimson. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. He found the groundskeeper's shack, a rickety structure tucked among the trees, and knocked. "Mr. Amos?" he called, his voice barely above a whisper. A cough rasped from within, followed by shuffling footsteps. The door creaked open, revealing an old man with sunken cheeks and cloudy eyes. "Who are you looking for, kid?" he asked, his voice like gravel. "I'm Ethan, the delivery guy," he said, steadying his nerves. I've been bringing food here for 9 days, to a girl, about 19, wears black, long hair. Is she your granddaughter or something? Amos squinted, studying Ethan. A girl? Ain't nobody here but me, son. Been alone for years. Nearest house is a mile off. Ethan's stomach dropped. But I've seen her. She pays, takes the food, every day. Amos chuckled, a dry, unsettling sound. Wait, you mean her? His eyes lit up with recognition. She visits sometimes. Come with me. Heart pounding. Ethan followed Amos through the cemetery, their footsteps muffled by the soft earth. They stopped at a fresh grave, its headstone gleaming faintly. Ethan's eyes locked on the inscription, and his breath caught. Clara Marie Evansborn, June 4th, 1982 died. October 3rd, 2001 hometown, Frederick, Maryland. Today's the 10th day since she passed, Ethan whispered, his voice trembling. He turned to Amos, eyes wide with horror. This can't be right. Amos nodded, his expression somber. She lingers here, especially around her death anniversary. Must be lonely. Ethan lit an incense stick, his hand shaking so badly he nearly dropped the match. He mumbled a goodbye and fled, the girl's face burning in his mind. That night, he refused the cemetery delivery, ignoring Mrs. Clara's pleas and claiming illness. He lay in bed, the events replaying in a loop, his heart racing with fear and fascination. As moonlight spilled through his window, a soft knock echoed. Ethan's blood ran cold. Who's there? He called, his voice hoarse. Silence. He forced himself to the door, opening it to find her, Clara Marie, standing in her black hoodie, her eyes glinting like stars. Why didn't you bring my food today, Ethan? She asked, her voice a chilling whisper. He stumbled back, sweat beading on his forehead. How do you know where I live? What are you? Her smile was sad, almost tender. I know more than you think. I know you graduated IT, that you're a soccer star, that you play guitar. I know you said you'd only love someone who could match your spark. She placed a bag of oranges on his table, their scent sharp and sweet. Eat these for strength. Tomorrow, go to this address. Someone's waiting. She handed him a slip of paper and stepped back, her form dissolving into the night. Ethan didn't sleep, his mind torn between terror and curiosity. At dawn, he followed the note to a sleek tech startup in downtown Baltimore. The receptionist greeted him warmly. Ethan Carter? Mr. Thompson's expecting you. Inside, a silver-haired man rose from his desk, smiling. Ethan, Clara told me so much about you. Back in college, she said you were the star, soccer, grades, guitar. She'd watch you from the bleachers, too shy to speak up. My daughter. Ethan's heart stopped. He laughed, a shaky sound, as memories flooded back. Clara Marie Evans, the quiet girl who'd lingered at the edge of his college games, her eyes bright with unspoken admiration. She'd never approached him, but now, from beyond, she'd guided him to this moment. The job offer was generous, a stepping stone to the career he dreamed of. Years later, as a successful software engineer, Ethan kept the dried oranges on his desk, a talisman of the girl who'd changed his life with a delivery to nowhere. Clara Marie, the ghost who saw his potential, had won his heart in a way he'd never imagined.